generation. So now we are going to see that one, right? Parsing is over. The next phase of compiler is intermediate code generation. Here, now you see one here we are having that set of statement as here three address statement. The intermediate code generation, the intermediate code of the form code of the form as postfix notation, postfix form, syntax tree form. Another one is three address code. We are having this three form of intermediate code: postfix form, syntax tree form, another one three address code form, right? So for example, here we are having that one as x equal to a plus b, right? X equal to a plus b is an assignment statement. Now this assignment statement is represented in the form of, right? So this assignment statement is by grammar we are having now as a derives id is equal to e derives e plus e derives id. Now this is the grammar, right? So this is the grammar. On that grammar, using this grammar you can generate this statement. So here assignment statement is id is equal to e, this e equal to e plus e, right? E plus e, then this e is id, this is id. Now here you see this one variable name is, this is x, this is a, this is, right? Now in general you can write it as insta plus, we can have now operator, plus operator. So a operator b. So here also we can have now operator. This operator may be plus, minus, star, then whatever it may be, right? So here we are having this one, right? So now here in the postfix form is, here how we have to do that one. So ab postfix is actually, if you are having that expression is ab, now you consider that ab afterwards plus, this is postfix form, right? Now here this statement is we are having the postfix form as here a b plus, right, then equal to x. So here we are having that one as, this is actually postfix form. We are representing the statement as postfix form. Next one syntax form is here plus a b equal, then this one as x. This is syntax tree. So this is syntax tree, right? So this is postfix, postfix. Then next one is three address code. Three address code is maximum three variables should be there, right? So here we are having, in that case the three address code is, here you have to do that one as temporary variable is equal to a plus p. Now here we are assigning now x equal to 2. So this is three address statement. So this is three address code. So here we are having maximum three variable 1, 2, 3. Then here we are having this temporary variable is assigned to x, right? Three variable, one operator, right? So here you see this one a plus b, right? So here we have to represent that one as plus operation on a b, right? So here we have to assign that one as in the location t, right? Next here we are having equal to x, we equal to T. Now here you have to assign that one to, here nothing, assign that one to X, right? So here this is actually 3 address code with quadruple record. Quadruple record means we are having 4 field record. Each statement is converted into 4 field record. So a field is operator, argument 1, argument 2, this is the result, right? So here we are having this 3 address code is represented by a record with 4 field record. So each statement is considered as 4 field record. This is 4 fields, right? So field 1 is operator, field 2 is argument 1, then field 3 is argument 2, then field 4 is result, right? So here A, B plus the result is stored on temporary variable. Now this temporary variable value is assigned to X, right? Here you don't have that one argument. So these two statements is represented in the form of quadruple. So this is called quadruple. Quad means 4, right? So 4 field record, that is called quadruple. So 3 address code. This 3 address code represented in 3 forms. One is quadruple, another one is triple, then another one is indirect triple. Here we are having that 3 form of 3 address code: quadruple, triple. So the 3 address code is represented by quadruple, triple, indirect triple, right? So this is quadruple. So statement number 1, state number 2, we are having now, right? So triple is, how do you represent one as? We are having 3 field, right? So here we are having plus A, B, right? So first record is you consider 0, this is 1. Now here also we are having, this is 0 field. Next we are having equal. Here the address statement is 0. Here you have to assign. So now this is statement number 0 and 1. Here we are having 3 fields. 3 fields. So we are reducing 1 field of record. So for each cases we are reducing 1 field of record, right? So here this 0 is nothing but with bracket is the corresponding statement. So the statement result, right? So the statement result is going to be assigned to X. So this is called triple. This is called triple, right? So indirect triple is, here we are having that one 0 and 1. So the statement 0 and 1, the statement 0 is located on 10th location. The statement 1 is located on 11th location, right? On 10th location we are having plus A, B, then 11th location we are having now as here equal, here the 10th statement, then here we are having X. So here we are having indirect triple. So we are having in that one array we are having the statement number, then where that statement is there, right? So 10th location and 11th location. So this is indirect 10th run. Why we need to have that indirect is, here we are having many statement is repeated statement. So no need to write. So you have to represent the statement with the corresponding number. So if you are having, in that particular case, we are having many statements repeat of the same type. Instead of that one, you have to give that list of statement. Now here we have to list of unique statement. Here you have to give that program as the number of sequence of statement where we have to give the corresponding number. If the same statement is repeated, then you have to give the corresponding number only. So you can reduce the repetition, and then we can have the footprint of the code is reduced. Footprint of the code is reduced by indirect triple. If around 1000 line of code, 1000 statements are there. In that 1000 statement, many statement may be repeated, right? So here the unique statement for this 1000 statement is around, it may be 100, right? Now what actually you have to give that one, the unique statement should be placed in the list of statement. Now your code is 1000 line of code. So now you have to give another array 0 to 999 where we have to give the statement number. So here you have to give that the statement number is repeated, then you have to give the corresponding number here. So here 0 to 99 we are having unique statements. We are having unique statements 0 to 99. Now this 0 to 99 you can place here, right? So here first statement is maybe in 7th location, then the second statement maybe in 6th location, then around 300 statement repeated, right? Like we can have now. So we are having that list around 99, maximum 0 to 99 statements are there. Can you understand now? Any one of you? Every time I'm going to ask now.
Sir, yes, sir.
Uh, Here we are having now this three statement: quadruple, triple, indirect triple, right? So quadruple is here we are representing that. Here we are having three address code with four field. Three address code with four field, right? Now for example, for this statement we are having three address code statement is this one. Then this code is represented in quadruple, right? The same statement is represented by triple, right? Then the same statement is represented by indirect triple. So what's the advantage of indirect triple is here, if you are having that statement is repeat, then we can have once you have to write in that list, then we have to give another array for the indirect list, right? So here we are having 0 to 999 statement, then the statement may be repeated, then it will give the corresponding the statement. So here we are having this is indirect. So this is called indirect triple. So the three way of representing three address code, right? Almost many programming language is using the three address code form, right? Hereafter we are going to see the three address code for each type of statement. So here you have to concentrate on that one. If you are having doubt, you can stop me and ask me, right? Okay, next we'll go for that one, right? So here, what are the types of three address statement? Three address code, right? So here we are having three address code, right? So here we are having the first one as here X operator Y is one statement, right? Then here we are having X here A equal to X operator Y, right? Then here we are having A equal to X. Then if you are having unique one, actually unique operator A minus B operator X, we can have now. So this is one statement. This is another statement, assignment statement. Here we are having unique operator statement, right? Now if you are having that indexing statement, here we are having A equal to P of one, only one index, P of X, only one index, in one side only, right? Here we are having another one A of Y is equal to B. Here, if you are having on both side index, then it will give the four variable A of Y equal to P of X. Now, here you see this one variable number A, variable Y, variable B, variable X. So here we are having four variables. So four variable is not possible. So how do you split that one as here? First P of X equal to, so you have to use temporary variable as P of X. Next, you have to give that one A of Y equal to that temporary variable. So you have to split into two statement, then it will go for three address statement, right? So here we are having the three address statement of the form, this one, right? Next one, here we are having another one statement is called parameter. Parameter, param. Then we are having that one as here we are calling that program with n number of parameter. So here we are sorry. Here this is one as the parameter is represented by What's the need of that one? I will tell that one, right? So here we are having the another statement is if A less than B, code to L, code to one label. Then another one is code to one particular label, right? Here next we are having now A equal here the statement. Then we are having now as if you are having that point, right? So A equal to star of X, or otherwise star of X equal to A. Star of X equal to A we are having. So this is the pointer statement. Next we are having that statement as actually function call. Call the procedure with n number of arguments. Then argument is listed as parameter 1 arguments, right? A1, parameter 2, second argument, then here until parameter n, right? So how do you do that one? As here function call, right? So function call is here if you are calling now x equal to add a comma b comma c, suppose we are having, right? So this is a statement, programming language statement we are having. This is statement. Then how do you convert that one? As first parameter is in param a, next is next one is param p, next one is param c. Then you have to call the function call add with, here we are having add function call add comma 3 variables. So here we are having add comma 3 variables. This is the way of representing the three address code for a function call. So call comma call, then followed by add, followed by that 3, right? So this is also 3 variable, right? So here these are all the statement. So whatever statement you have written, the statement is converted in the form, right? So here we are having, this is the form, right? This operator is, here we are having a relational operator, arithmetic operator, or whatever that operator it may be, right? So here the list of statement is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, right? Then here we are having 10 11 12, right? So here we are having this much of statement is enough. Then you convert all statement into that form. Are you able to understand now? Here, for example, if you are having that one, another statement is x equal to minus p star c plus t, right? If you are having this statement, now how you have to convert into three address code is temporary variable 1 equal to minus p, then temporary variable 2 equal to c plus t, then temporary variable 3 equal to t1 star t2, and then x equal to t3, right? So the statement, this expression is a long expression, whatever the expression it may be, right? Then is split into the number of three address code. So this is the three address code for that statement, right? Now this is here in that set, right? So this is the set of three address code, right? So whatever the statement, here we are having if then else, here we are having, so here we are having if then code to L or code to L, right? So this one is enough for all conditional statement, right? Even though while, for, then whatever it is, then we can convert that one as this statement, right? So you are having around 1000 line of your code, 1000 line of your C program, right? So 1000 line of C program is converted into this set of intermediate code, This set of intermediate code is N, right? So we are writing 1,000 line of code, whatever it may be. That 1,000 line of code is using that lexical analyzer, it will do that operation, and next parser it will do the operation. After that, we are going to have that this intermediate code form, whatever statement it may be. Are you able to understand now? Okay, whatever the statement, 1,000 line of code or any big programming language program, that program is converted into this set of statements. Then this statement, so here this is 1,000 line of code. This 1,000 line of code is converted into around 15,000 line of intermediate code. 15,000 line of intermediate code. Now this intermediate code can be mapped to assembly language program. Can be mapped to assembly language program, right? Then this assembly language program can be mapped to machine level language program. Then this machine level language program can be executed on the machine, right? So depends on machine, the assembler is varying. Assembler is varying, that depends on machine, right? So here this intermediate code can directly mapped into assembly language code and be directly mapped into assembly language code. So here the important point is what register we have to use, right? So for example, move A comma B. In microprocessor, have you studied that one? Move A comma B, right? Then we are having store A into M. Or you want to get the data, then we have to get the data from M from E. So move M comma A comma M. Move M comma A comma M. So for getting the data, right? So this one as here. Now you see this one, this statement here. So what? How do you do that one? Move R1 comma X. So X value is moved to one register. Then move R2 comma Y. Now you have to do that one add operation on R1 plus R1 comma R2. Then the result is in memory. Then the memory is moved to here, right? So next you have to move that memory to A. So this is the assembly language code for this statement, right? So for this statement, so x value is moved to one register and y value is moved to another register, right? Then you have to call the add r1 comma r2. So this is another assembly language code, right? Then here we have to get the result in memory. Then the memory content is going to move to that, right? Or here we are having accumulator to some memory location. So this statement, single statement is going to have this assembly code, right? Now this assembly code is having the direct map to hexadecimal code, hexadecimal, right? So the hexadecimal code is machine level language code. This is the exe, then it can be executed, right? In between we are having linker loader, everything is there. Linker loader, so linker loader is used for, in that assembly code we are having function call, then the function call will go to that subroutine call. Like we are having many additives should be there, right? If you are having printf scanf statement, then it will go for many subroutine call. Then for that subroutine call it will make linking that another code, link loading another code. Then you have to make that code is a bigger one. Then we have to convert into exe. Then the exe, if you are executing, then it will execute for our purpose, and you, whatever input you are giving, the corresponding program output you will get now. Okay, clear? Anybody is having doubts? Are you listening?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Any others? Rahul Nandan, are you there? Watching? Listening?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Listening, sir.
Okay. Then Shushant,
Yes, sir. Listening, sir.
can you understand now that one? What concept I have explained so far?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any doubts?
Till now, clear, sir.
Till now, the clear, right? Okay. Aditya,
Yes, sir.
Purna Aditya, Aditya, Purna Aditya. So on your system and you are going somewhere else. Going to shop.
Yes, sir.
Aditya,
Yes, sir.
uh, Aditya is there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The sound is something different.
No, sir.
Okay. Okay. Anybody is having doubts? Please talk with me. Praveen Kumar, Priyadarshini, any doubts?
Clear, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. Now we'll continue that one. So here we are going to see that how we'll get that intermediate code for our, after parsing we are getting now the sequence of operation, then how we are going to get three address code we are going to see now, right? So till now we are having clear idea, then we'll go for the next steps. Okay. Now here you see this one, the assignment statement. Right. So for assignment statement, we are having the grammar. I already told you that one here. Assignment statement is a id equal to that expression. This expression is can have expression plus operator and expression minus operator and expression with open bracket e close bracket and expression with unary operator minus e and expression with id, right? Now this is the grammar for assignment statement. This is the grammar for assignment statement, right? Now here this grammar for assignment statement, now we are having one statement is x equal to minus p star c plus t, minus t star c plus t, right? Now for this particular statement, all of you know that one many types of parsing is there. You can use any one of the parser, right? So here we are having the grammar, then you assume that one we are having one parser, right? So one parser, so the parser will take this as input, right? Then it will give the sequence of the parsing, right? So here we are having that one as, here a is id equal to e, then this e equal to e star e, then this e equal to minus e, this e equal to id, then this e equal to open bracket e close bracket, then this e equal to e star e, e star e plus e plus e, then this e equal to id, this e equal to id, right? Now you see this one, here the leaves, right? So here now you see this one, this is x, right? This is equal to, right? Now here we are having, this is minus, then this id is equal to b, then here we are having star, then we are having open bracket, then this id equal to c, then plus, then here we are having id d, here we are having close bracket, right? So we are getting now, this is the parsing. So any parser, right? So we are having top down parsing or bottom up parsing, right? So whatever that parser, right? So we are using top down or bottom up, whatever the parser, then it will give the parse tree, correct? Okay. Here you are having grammar, further grammar you are having a parser. So parser we studied that one. So parser will give that one. So here we are designing the parser. The parser is getting this as input and it will give the parse tree, right? Now in that intermediate code generation, what we have to do is, for each production rule, what semantic action we have to take, right? That is going to see that one, right? So now you see this one here. For example, here first reduction in that case is this one as first reduction. This one as first reduction. E derives ID. So we are using this production rule. So what semantic action you have to take as, so in that place what variable is there, then for that variable value is assigned to this non-terminal. So here what actually you have to do that one, in e dot place equal to id dot place. So in that id what you are having now, in that id what you are having now, that is assigned to e dot place. So what action we are taking now here is, so in that e dot place you have to take that variable b. So in that id dot place we are having b. In that location we are having, original name is b is there, right? So you have to take that one. So you have to annotate the parse tree with semantic action. So this is the semantic action we have to take for this production rule. E derives id. So you have to annotate the production rule with, this is called semantic action. So each production rule will have semantic action, right? Then that semantic action is going to happen on the parser, right? Now here what it will do now, so if you are invoking this production rule, then it will do the operation is, it will take this variable from id dot place and assign to e dot place. So e dot place is nothing but one attribute of that non-terminal e. Like we can have many attributes, we will see that one. E dot place equal to id dot place, right? Similarly, this also it will invoke the same process. This is the next reduction. So e dot place equal to c. So here we are having now e dot place equal to, so same semantic action. So you have to take that one. So in that id dot place we are having c, right? Similarly, here we are having that reduction as e derives id. So here also for this e dot place equal to id dot place. So id dot places we are having d, right? Now here you see this one, the next reduction is actually this one, e equal to minus e, e equal to minus e. So here what action we have to take here is e equal to minus e. So in that, yeah, this is you consider as the left hand side is e1. So here e dot place equal to minus e1 dot place. E dot place equal to minus e1 dot place, you have to take that one. So here what semantic action we have to take now is, here e dot place equal to minus operator concatenate with, right? So minus operator concatenate with e1 dot place. So e1 you put that one as e1 dot place, right? So here instead of suffix, then you put that one top, right? So you have to take that one. So E1 dot place. So here what actually we have to take now as here by this way what you are getting now here in that E dot place. So for this E, what you are getting now as E dot place equal to minus P. E dot place equal to minus P. Right? So E dot place equal to minus P. In that location, we are having now E dot place equal to minus P. Right? Now, this reduction we are having now. So what we have to do is you have to create a temporary variable. For the temporary variable, you have to give that name as E dot place. So that in that E dot place, you have to give the temporary variable. One temporary variable as E dot place. In that E dot place, you are having one temporary variable. Now, so you have to generate code as, so you have to generate code as, so E dot place is equal to E1 dot place. E1 is this one, right? So here E1 dot place plus operator and E2 dot place. So this code you want to generate. So you have to generate code. Similarly, here also you have to generate code as this one, right? So here you have to give that one. Actually, here what actually we have to give now, you have to create a new temporary variable for this case also. So E dot place equal to T equal to E dot place, right? Then you have to generate a code as E dot place equal to minus E1 dot place. So now by this place, what you will get now that one as, it will generate a code as, in that E dot place we are having T1, temporary variable 1. T1 equal to minus P. So this is the code generated by this reduction. Next we are having, this is that one. So next temporary variable is here, we are having now T2. So T2 equal to new temporary variable. So here T2 equal to, you are taking that variable as using the function called new temp. New temp is a function, it will create a temporary variable. Here also you have to give that one new temp, new temporary variable. So here we are having that one as new temporary variable in that E dot place. So in E dot place you have to create new temporary variable. So here that one as we are having now. So this one is here now, this case, okay. So T2 equal to that one, E1 dot place we are having now, right? Then here it will generate a code as E2 equal to, in that E1 dot place we are having C and E2 dot place we are having D. So C plus D it will create. Then here the next reduction is this E star E is going to have that one as E. So E star E going to have that new here. So it will create a new temporary variable T3. Now in that E dot place we are having now T1, right? In that E dot place we are having T2. So now it will generate a code as T3 equal to T1 star T2, right? Then the reduction is going to have that one ID is equal to E with A, right? So now in that ID dot place is equal to that E dot place. So in that E dot place we are having T3, it's a temporary variable T3. So now it will generate that one, in that ID dot place we are having X. So X equal to T3. Now this is the 3 address code for this statement. Are you able to understand now?
Yes, sir.
Here, one second, I will explain that one in proper way. File, save as. Right now, here the semantic action we have to add, that is called intermediate. Here this is called syntax directed translation scheme. Once again now 5. Okay. Here, so what we have to do is we have to write statement. So here for each production rule, right? So here first production rule is A. So A derives ID is equal to E. So for this production rule, now you have to write the semantic action, right? So in that semantic action, what actually you have to generate a code as ID dot place equal to E dot place equal to E dot place. This code we want to generate. This is the semantic action for this statement, right? Next one is here E derives E plus E. E derives E plus E, right? Now for this case, so you have to create a new temporary variable T equal to new temporary variable. Now you have to generate a code. Here you have to generate a code as write that one as T equal to, right? So here this is E1, this is E2. So for discriminate between for each E, so here you see that one, this is in E1 dot place whatever it is, E1 dot place plus E2 dot place, right? Then here you have to assign that one as in that E dot place you have to assign that T. In that E dot place you have to assign that T. So this is the syntax character translation. So this is a semantic action. So this is for production rule. Production rule. This is called semantic action. Semantic action. So for each production rule, what action we have to take? So this is called semantic action. Next, here we are having E derives E1 star E2. So for this case also the same is repeated. Then instead of plus you have to put star, right? So here you have to write that one. So we are going to write the same one and you have to change that one as this is star, right? So here you have to write that one. So the semantic action is T equal to new temporary variable. New temporary variable is a function. It will create a temporary variable. So this is one routine. It will give the sequence of temporary variable T1, T2, T3. So whatever if you are calling, then it will give the increment and it will give that number T1, T2, T3 and so on, right? Then here you have to write a code generate T equal to E1 dot place star operator, right? So here we are having E2 dot place. E2 dot place. Then here you have to in that E dot place you have to give T. So this is a semantic action, right? Similarly, here E derives minus E. So for this case also the same process is repeated. So instead of that one you have to put minus. So here we are having T equal to new term, right? New temporary variable. Then here you have to generate a code as T equal to this minus followed by E1 dot place. E1 dot place, right? Then you have to put now E dot place equal to T. This is the semantic action you have to take, right? Next one is here we are having E derives open bracket E close bracket, right? So here we have to do that one as nothing you need to do. So E dot place equal to E1 dot place. E dot place equal to, so this is in that side you have to take it as E1. In that side you have to take it as E1. So E dot place equal to, here no need to generate any code. Just we are assigning that one as E dot place equal to E1 dot place, right? Okay. Then here you have to close it. Next we are having now E derives ID, right? So for this E direct ID, what we have to do is E dot place equal to ID dot place. E dot place equal to ID dot place. So this is assignment. It won't generate any code, right? So this is called syntax directed translation scheme for assignment statement. So this is called syntax directed translation scheme for assignment statement. Syntax directed translation scheme for assignment statement, right? So here for each production rule, you have to write semantic action, what action we have to take. Then for this case, what action we have to take. For this case, what action we have to take. Like you have to write, right? So now this is the syntax directed translation scheme. Using the syntax directed translation scheme, now we can go for generating the 3 address code. So this is one 3 address code. This is one 3 address code. As I already told you that one assignment statement A equal to X, right? So this is actually X equal to A operator B, right? So this is actually A operator, here operator is plus. Similarly here also X equal to A operator B. Here X equal to minus operator B. Unary operator and Y, right? So this is the case, right? Nothing other than that we are having now. So using that one, we are having that expression, whatever a long expression, right? Then the long expression is converted into that form. Are you able to understand now? Any doubt you can ask now. We will continue in the next class. Any doubts? Really? There is no doubt at all? Surprise? Okay. Anybody is having doubts? Okay, we will stop from here. Then we will continue in the next class, right? Okay. Now you can leave from class and you put attendance on the WhatsApp itself. So around 36 only. Don't fake attendance, please. So who are not entering here? So very useful topics covered. Then everyone should come properly. Regularly, if you come, then you can easily understand here itself. I can assure you. Okay. பூர்ண ஆதித்யா
சார்
என்ன ஆச்சு குரலுக்கு?
நல்லா தான் சார் இருந்தது.
ஏன் வேற மாதிரி சவுண்ட் கேட்டுச்சு?
தெரியல சார், நெட்.
சரி, அட்டன் பண்ணியா இல்லையா?
கேட்டேன் சார்.
ஃபுல்லா அட்டன் பண்ணியா?
ஆமா சார், நீங்க கூப்பிடும் போது ஆக்சுவலா லைக் நான் வந்து ரெண்டு மூணு தடவை கூப்பிட்டீங்க சார். நான் ஆக்சுவலா போன்ல இருந்தேன் சார். அதான் டக்குன்னு அங்க விட்டு திருப்பி வந்தேன் சார். யாரோ கால்
ஏன் அட்டன் பண்ணணும்?
இல்ல சார், யாருக்கு தெரியல சார். அப்பா வந்து போன் தொலைச்சிட்டாரு சார். அதான் பிசினஸ் கால்ல எனக்கு தான் சார் வந்துட்டு இருக்கு. அதனால தான் சார், இல்ல எடுத்துக்க மாட்டேன் சார்.
ஓகே, இந்த மாதிரி பண்ணாதீங்க. நீங்க கிளாஸ் அட்டெண்ட் பண்ணுங்க, கிளாஸ் கவனிங்க.
சார் ஷியோர் சார்.
சரியா?
சரி சார்.
அத போல தூர வச்சிருங்க அட்டெண்ட் பண்ணும்போது.
சார்
சிஸ்டத்துல அட்டெண்ட் பண்ணுங்க, ரொம்ப யூஸ்ஃபுல்லா இருக்கும்.
பாத்துட்டு இருக்கேன்.
ஓகே ஓகே.
சரி சார்.
சரி,
थैंक यू சார்.
ஓகே ஓகே. Anybody else is having doubts? Sultan, any doubts? No. Okay, fine. Sultan Marikayar.
Yes, sir.
Any doubts Vana?
No, sir.
ஏதாவது டவுட்ஸ் இருக்கா?
இல்ல சார்.
சரி, கண்டிப்பா. சங்கர். சங்கர். Sangar. Okay, fine. Have a nice day. Nothing.